Hello my beautiful wonderful viewers, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in to listen. Guys, still on River State, my people, still on River State. The sole administrator has come out to deny the summon. Yesterday evening, it was in the evening, we saw this online that the sole administrator summoned Fubara and the deputy to the government house. And when I saw it, I was like, so this guy level don't reach like this. Now he has come out to deny it. He said, I didn't summon Fubara to the government house, sole administrator. The sole administrator of River State, Vice Admiral Ebot Abbas, has denied issuing a summon letter to the suspended governor of River State, Similayi Fubara. And he also said that the local government area sole administrators are yet to be administered with their oath of office. In his words, he said, nowhere did I ever summon His Excellency Governor Fubara for any probe. Guys, when I watch, there is something I like inside this thing when he talk. He still refer Governor Fubara as Governor Fubara, His Excellency. And that is a fact. Whether we like it or not, Fubara still remains the governor of River State. As we dey talk, so protests still dey go on for River State. Protests still dey go on. The pro-Fubara faction still dey carry on their protests. They are still carrying out the protests in River State. Women still dey jaye, dey protest, dey go. But let for me alone, I will advise this a protest. They don't really need it. The government of today no dey reason protest. The una president Tinubu, he no send una what una protest from now to tomorrow. He no send. There is no need. Protest no dey work for Nigeria. Abeg una watch this video and drop your comment with us. I really want to know your wonderful thoughts. Drop it with us below the comment section. And abeg help us to share this video. Also like and give us a thumbs up. Bye bye.
I want to make it clear that the governor of River State, the executive governor of River State, Similayi Fubara, has always been a law-abiding governor in this state. We all know that His Excellency Similayi Fubara has been very much ready and passionate about the governance of Rivers people, the welfare of Rivers people, and the governance of River State. We are very much aware of that. We expect that the sole administrator, with his rank in the Nigerian military, and with his level and what the portfolios that we believe he has gathered in his previous level in life, we expected that the sole administrator will come in and then maintain peace and ensure that Rivers people are happy with his presence in River State. Unfortunately, it is the sole administrator that was assigned to River State by Mr. President that is now responsible for sponsoring protests in River State. We want to make it bold that Mr. Sole Administrator Abbas Itatas, I don't even know his name, is responsible for a protest we're having in River State. How can you explain the situation where people were protesting and Abbas addressed as the Nigerian security to shoot direct the protesters that was against his administration or was against illegality that was being carried out in River State? The same administrator gave backing and protection to all those women and men that were protesting in favor of Wike. One Nyesom Wike to understand that resource control of River State cannot be for him alone. We all have the control over River State resources. As agents of River State, we have the power to ask a question. At this point, we also want to ask that if Nyesom Wike was actually doing the right thing, has he been able to give account to Rivers people on how he spent Rivers money? One of the problems of Nyesom Wike is that he wants to be in charge of the political structure of River State. Where you this person in charge? Governor, he's not the first governor in River State. We have all the leaders former governor of River State. We have right of the flag governor of River State. How many of them came out within the 10 of years of Wike to ask him to hand over their structure to him? Does it mean that people don't never have a structure in River State? Does it mean that right of the former governor of River State never have a structure in River State? Why is Nyesom Wike deceiving Mr. President? Why is Mr. President allowing himself to be deceived by Nyesom Wike? The National Assembly, the NSA must advise Mr. President that as the President, we expect him to act the role of a father. But at this point, Mr. President is not acting the role of a father. Mr. President is taking sides with Nyesom Wike against the entirety of Rivers people. And that's what we are against. Mr. President must address the sole administrator and call him back immediately. Because if he doesn't, and Rivers State is in crisis or in chaos, then the sole administrator should be held responsible. We are not afraid of being killed. We are not afraid of being arrested. We are not afraid of his action. This is not a military regime. This is a democratic process. You do not have the constitutional backing to suspend an elected governor. We voted for the governor of Rivers State. We do not vote for Mr. Ibas. We do not vote for the sole administrator. So we are immediately asking that the sole administrator must stop sponsoring protests in Rivers State. Just recently, 10 million naira was given to each of the youth group that paid a visit to the sole administrator. If Mr. Sole Administrator is interested in the peace of Rivers State, why is he sponsoring youth group to protest in Rivers State? Why is he asking for an extension of tenure? Why is the sole administrator appointing the local government administrators? Why is he doing so? At this point, we want Mr. Sole Administrator to understand that he do not have the constitutional backing to appoint or to dissolve anybody in Rivers State. He doesn't have that power. And if he doesn't stop, like I said earlier, we are not afraid of him. We are only respecting the law, and we are only acting as a law-abiding citizen. We are not afraid of the sole administrator. So if you feel they want to oppress us or intimidate us because he's a retired military officer, we must let him know that this is not a military era and this is a democratic system of government. And the governor of Rivers State was democratically voted for and was not appointed by Mr. President. Mr. President has overreacted and he must be called to order. The National Assembly, the NSA, that's if at all we have the NSA, must advise Mr. President to go back and reinstate the executive governor of Rivers State. That is the call of Rivers people. Number of protests upon protests will not stop us when the time is right. Like I said earlier, we are going to occupy government house if he refuses to do the needful. We are tired. Enough is enough. He was not sent here to ignore more crisis in Rivers State. He was not sent here to increase the political crisis in Rivers State. Rather, he was sent to restore peace in Rivers State. And that's what we expect. At this point, Mr. Sole Administrator is not interested in peace. If you want to become a governor of any state, you should go to Cross River and contest for election. If you want to be a governor, if he is interested in being a governor, he should go to Cross River, where he comes from, to contest to be the governor, and not in Rivers State.
You're sure they want Fubara? He's their governor now. He's just suspended for only 6 months now. It's our 5 months now. I mean, but you saw that protest, the peaceful protest. They were all clad in white. It was nice and peaceful, wasn't it, Rufai? You were saying something about the difference between the two protests.
Today, we don't get paid protests for Nigeria.
Which one is paid?
Let's keep this in ourselves. No, I'm just talking.
Okay.
We
want to know which one
was paid and which one was not paid.
But can't you see that one protest was heavily militarized,
yes.
the others was peaceful? I mean, it speaks volumes of what is going on. See,
I see Tokumbo there.
My point has always been, see, both Fubara and Wike, they both went in and got in by suppressing the Rivers people. Because when Fubara got in there, we know the things that happened in that election. We know what was done to the likes of Tonye Cole. That was when the going was good for both of them. So I don't have pity for both of them. But why I lean towards what has been done against Fubara is that it's an aberration against our constitution.
Yeah.
Declaring a state of emergency. And 11 governors, Governor Dauda, when I interviewed him, said they have all gone to court.
Yeah.
Let's see how they try to in court. So we need to speak because, you see, it's Fubara today. It could be anybody tomorrow.
Right.
That's why we are speaking up. But as regards sympathy between Wike and Fubara, when the going was good, God knows what happened among them.
What was that song?
When the going is good, many people will be your friends.
Let's remain in Rivers State.
That's their own wahala.
Conclude on this one. Meanwhile, reactions have trailed a 300 million naira payment by the Rivers State government to the Nigerian Bar Association. On Monday, the NBA clarified that the money received from the Rivers State government for the 2025 Annual General Conference was a gift and not a payment for hosting rights. The Rivers government had requested a refund after the NBA moved the conference from Port Harcourt to Enugu, citing constitutional violations in Rivers State. The NBA explained that hosting the conference involves significant costs and financial support from state governments, and it's typically provided in the form of gifts, partnerships, or sponsorship. Well, let's take some reactions. This person wrote, "The 300 million naira you received from the suspended governor Fubara, was it a donation or payment to overlook the unlawful activities in the state. I now understand why the NBA remained silent when Fubara demolished the Rivers State House of Assembly, but began speaking out when the state of emergency was declared. The EFCC should investigate what happened to the 300 million naira donation. Another ex-user wrote, I presume that there was a formal agreement to sponsor and host your event in River State, hence the disbursement of the 300 million naira. And since you decided to move the event to another state, the ethical thing to do is to return the money. The NBA aired. The association should be sued. I kind of concur with that. I'm not the suing, but I mean, you're saying it's a donation.
Do
you want to
from
quickly
a vantage point?
say something?
I have
because
spoken in an NBA conference,
Okay.
so I have some background information about. But Vimbai, please go ahead.
Okay, so after that,
Well, hear the background, but I mean, on the surface of it, a donation was made, and of course they'll say that it was a gift. But of course we all know that the unwritten agreement is that this is because you're going to come and patronize our state, and you're bringing a number of people for the conference. There's going to be economic activity. There's going to be all of the benefits that one derives from hosting a conference of this stature. So based off of the surface of it, it just seems like, well, we are moving our conference to Enugu now. Thank you for the gift, for the goodwill. Please, collect your money. Enugu, please, do the necessary, please. Can you
Isn't
shave
that how
body,
it's
drop
supposed
the
to be?
300? That's on the surface. So
Vimba,
before I think there's
let's
more to-
ask
but that's the way I see it.
Right here. Then we'll ask what to say.
The Enugu State is run by a private sector individual, Peter Umba. No chaos. He's provided water, infrastructure. River State is a sad case. 300 million naira at 1,600 is $187,000, right? That is money that can go to communities. No, I don't know anybody here. Do you know anybody who has told you, hey, OG, I got a job in River State. I'm starting tomorrow. Hey, Vimbai, my wife is giving birth to a new baby in a hospital. No development, nothing. It's just two people, you know who they are, fighting, demolishing the states. I have no sympathy for River State and what's going on there. And it's a good decision going to Enugu State, because Enugu State is on a upward trajectory. So good job on the NBA.
Should they refund the money or not?
Yes, they should. I'm on there. Refund the money. Refund the money.
With background information I have spoken at the NBA conference, and it was done that year in River State. The norm has always been, and Governor Wike hosted effectively. In fact, that 300 million, I can tell you, cannot entirely host that event. Because I sat 2 to 3 to 4 years ago, I forget now the year particularly now, that I hosted, that the money that was spent on that event was more than this amount.
So why? Why refund?
Hang on a minute, let me finish. Hang on a minute. See, in your state,
300 million, no.
Rutus,
State funds.
wait, in states, they try to attract these big conferences as also a bragging rights.
Okay.
So it's for them too. It brings some economic activities, yes, but it's also a thing of a bragging rights.
Okay.
That year, Governor Wike hosted us. I spoke and I left that day. This amount, yes, people even volunteered. What you should ask is, yes, the NBA might have courted them, but voluntarily the money was given. But the status of things have changed, and I think it's very cheeky by the River State Soul Administration to now say, pay the money back because you are taking things
But
away.
what are they using the money for?
Thank you.
No, please, can I just ask the question? What are they
Let me
using the money
finish.
for?
300 million
Let me
naira
finish.
for an event.
Do you know the logistics involved in holding an NBA
Why break
conference?
it down? Why break down the
Hold on,
logistics?
but it's not even happening.
Why break down the logistics for us, line by line?
You have nothing less than hundreds to close to 1,000 speakers. The logistics of bringing them in, putting them in hotels and everything, and catering to their needs. That's not.
Where?
Why not make it virtual? Why not make it by Zoom? Why not do it by Zoom?
The point is that it's not happening.
Let the new host
It's not
state.
Can I
happening.
finish?
That's
Can I
the point.
finish?
Okay.
You guys will let me speak.
ahead,
I'm
go
breaking
ahead.
the logistics for you.
Okay.
Secondly, the logistics of getting a venue for all of this. The logistics of guests coming in.
Okay.
The logistics of planning of the local organizing committee.
Okay.
All of these things cost money.
Okay.
All right?
Fine.
So if it costs money and a state offered when the going was good, it is a gift. If things had not gone their way again this time around, the state now saying, no, because you took it to another state, bring my money back. It is tricky because in the first place you gave it to them as a gift. And that's why the NBA has said that there was no binding agreement that because you gave us a gift, that it must be hosted there.
All right, so they
all
can
of
keep the
these
gift. That's your
also
opinion,
has been
yeah.
politicized.
All right, so they can keep the gifts. Your opinion is that
you gave somebody a gift.
Fine,
There was
fine.
no point taking it back in the first place.
Okay.
Let's stop over politicizing
Fine,
issues.
sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Good faith,
Yes.
as the state will no longer benefit from the bragging rights.
Return the money.
This
Give
is
them
it.
their
Okay,
money
so
back. You're not doing it in the States anymore.
Rufy, it's 3 against 1 today. Rufy on
Remember
fire.
this position you took today.
Well,
It's
all right.
fine. But
Okay,
it's not
fine,
because
fine.
I know what goes on.
Everyone
Even
is
that
entitled
300
to their
million.
100
Please,
million.
you can go and fact check
That's
me.
almost half a billion naira.
300
or 200 million.
No,
again.
we don't disagree. We don't
300
disagree with you.
million
What
is
it's
not even
supposed to be
enough
used
to
for.
host that NBA conference.
All right.
Fact check me
The
anyway.
right.
NBA should do cost
Fact
analysis.
check me anywhere.
The joy of being here is that we can all agree to
Yes,
disagree.
we can all agree
we can all agree to
to.
disagree.
All right. Rufy on fire. All right. Carry